Hello and welcome to Stress Reduction. My name is Corrine Lewis. I am certified in functional medicine, nutrition, family herbalist, and intuitive eating. I have a degree in natural health sciences. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to discuss stress. We all have it, right? Some days it seems more than others. It could be minute by minute, hour by hour. Stress definitely changes, probably on a daily basis for most of us. So what is distress? What is stress? We're going to define it and look at it. How does it affect us? Because it definitely can affect us in so many different ways. Most importantly, what's in your toolbox? How do we navigate through stress so that it is not taking a toll on our health, and having the permission and the okay to say no when we need to. Really important. How do we describe being overstretched, overbooked, and about to snap, which really I think sums up our society at this stage in life. It all equals stress. So let's take a look at how stress is differently defined. Certainly there's physical stress. I think we can understand that. Exercise, hard labor, giving birth certainly is stressful. Having an accident, trauma to a part of your body would be a physical stress. There are also chemical stresses, environmental pollution, such as exposure to pesticides, which seem to be everywhere. Cleaning products. What are you cleaning the inside of your home with that could be actually causing a chemical stress on your body? And personal use of chemicals from drugs, alcohol, caffeine, and nicotine. Personal care products more than likely have plenty of chemicals in it. So we're putting those on our bodies every single day. And what are you using on the outside of your home possibly that might be harming you, harming wildlife, domestic animals, and certainly in the end, our environment. There's also mental stress. This is probably one of the biggest ones. High responsibility, working long hours, the desire for perfectionism, anxiety, worry, emotional stress, bereavement with the loss of a loved one, betrayal, anger, fear, frustration, sadness, and disappointment. Nutritional stress. When we're eating more of the standard American diet, that truly is going to put a stress on our bodies. Having food allergies or food sensitivities, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, protein or fat in excess that really is not for your particular body. Those can all cause an internal stress. Traumatic stress with infection, injury, surgery, burns, and severe temperature changes, especially when we're talking about the elderly. That can just be at times just too much for them to handle. Psycho-spiritual stress, relationships, raising a family, financial or career pressures, issues of life goals, expectations, spiritual alignment, and general state of happiness. When you look at yourself, do you consider yourself to be happy? Do you feel joy every day? What are common stress factors? Really, our attitudes towards ourself. It's very easy to judge ourselves, probably within less than 10 seconds. Demands at work, in our office, emotional challenges, personal relationships, fear, anger, feeling sense of loneliness if maybe we are not in a relationship and we desire to be. The family changes, marriage, the unfortunate circumstance of divorce or separation, having a new baby, um, moving into empty nest when your children are growing up and they are leaving for college, or they are growing up and they move out into their own place. Health challenges of an illness, injury, surgery, chemical exposure. We're seeing more and more and more of this. Job and career challenges, life challenges. Just life itself can be stressful at times. Adolescence, aging, pregnancy, menopause, going through those, you know, significant changes at different times in our lives. Meeting someone new could be stressful. Moving, especially when people are older, moving can be extremely stressful. personal financial state, physical challenges, athletic events, weather changes, extreme climates, promotion, or even job loss. Public speaking, raising children, I think is probably the toughest job that there is and can be very stressful throughout the life of that child. Doesn't seem to really get easier as they become adults. Tests in school, very stressful. Getting a traffic ticket uh, can be stressful. And then certainly seeing and hearing about war and the fear of possibly going to war can definitely cause stress. So, what are some stress related symptoms and diseases that we should be paying attention to? Um, in the upper right hand corner, you can see a picture. It says there is no illness that is not exacerbated by stress. So stress is real. And again, we all have it in our lives. It can change from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, season to season. So it's not something that should be pushed aside and ignored. We really need to take a look at it and see where we can do some stress reduction. So some symptoms and diseases to pay attention to: allergies, anorexia nervosa, arthritis, which is inflammation, asthma, arteriosclerosis, which is cardiac disease, cancer, constipation, holding it in, certainly depressions are emotions, diabetes, diarrhea, eczema, fatigue, headaches, high blood pressure, indigestion, infections, insomnia. Stress can definitely wreak havoc in our ability to sleep. Certainly irritability, irritable bowel, loss of appetite, muscle tension, neck and back pains. I think it's really common for people to hold stress in their shoulders a lot. Nutritional deficiencies, if we're eating more of the standard American diet that is just not supportive. Peptic ulcers, very common with stress. Premenstrual symptoms, psoriasis, psychological problems, sexual problems, and certainly weight changes. I've listed 10 questions that I definitely think are worth asking yourself periodically to take a look at your current lifestyle, what's going on. How many hours are you working per week, including at home? For many people, when we go home, we start a whole nother job of taking care of our loved ones. And sometimes it feels like you work 24/7. And I can totally relate to that. How often do you spend time with friends? Is friends something that you just put on the back burner and hope that, you know, maybe once every 6 to 12 months you get to go out with your friends and spend some quality time with them? How would you describe your usual eating patterns? Long periods without eating, skipping meals? How do you find time to relax, or what do you enjoy doing to relax? Do you even relax? How often do you get outdoors? I think it's such a good idea to get outdoors, smell fresh air, be close to nature, and really be present in the moment. How are you setting limits with people, especially around family and maybe friends that you feel are extremely needy, energy zappers? Do you feel guilty if you are not being productive? Like when you go home from work, do you feel like you have to constantly be up doing things? That's definitely something to take a look at. How would you rate your current stress level on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest? How often do you exercise? You know, we encourage and recommend and ask our patients to exercise 30 minutes a day. That can be broken up into 5-10 minute increments, but truly getting out and being physically active, whether you're inside or outside, 30 minutes a day can really help to lower stress levels. What's your favorite exercise? I actually do have people that tell me they just don't like to exercise at all. So those are the ones that I ask them to please walk for 30 minutes a day. Um, if you enjoy listening to music, turn on your favorite music and just start moving your body. If you like to dance, turn on your music and just start dancing. Put your phone timer on for 30 minutes, and before you know it, that 30 minutes will be up and you'll feel so much better. Welcome to the central nervous system. So with the central nervous system, that's known as brain number one. Your gut is actually known as brain number two. They are in constant communication with one another through the vagus nerve. There's two ways for our bodies to respond. One is the parasympathetic division, and on the other side is the sympathetic division. You may be one more or the other, but you can see with the parasympathetic division, your pupil constricts, stimulates your tear glands, strong stimulation of salivary flow, inhibits heart, dilates arteries, constricts bronchi, stimulates the stomach, motility and secretion, stimulates the pancreas, stimulates intestinal motility, contracts bladder. On the sympathetic division, our pupils are dilated, no effect on tear glands, a weak stimulation of salivary flow, accelerates your heart, constricts the arteries, dilates bronchi, inhibits stomach motility and secretion, inhibits pancreas and adrenals, inhibits intestinal motility, relaxes bladder. So ultimately, we really want to be more on the parasympathetic division. Sympathetic division really means that we are really responding to the stress, and if it's chronic, it truly is going to take a taxation on our overall bodies. How do we go about taming stress and anxiety? A lot of people, when you talk about stress, they'll just sort of like laugh, like, are you kidding me? We all have stress. There's no way to get around it. But actually, there are things that we can do to help strengthen us as we are navigating through stress. I'm not saying we're never going to have stress, because we are. We all have it. I have it. It's what can I do to help support and nourish my body so that I can get through that stress, hopefully, without it taking a toll on my body and my health. So everything begins with what? Our intentions. Positivity impacts our health for the better. There are actual studies that show that people with more optimistic perspective live longer and healthier by 4 to 10 years. I would say that's pretty significant. 22% less likely to develop heart disease than those who don't express positive emotions. You know, sometimes when we are tapped into all of the electronic devices and social media, it can be challenging to be optimistic or to have positive emotions with all the things that we can visually see and are reading. But it truly is our choice to decide what we want to bring into our lives, bring into our intention, because we can certainly turn those things off. I'm not saying be naive and not know what's going on, but there are different ways that we can learn and have knowledge of the present times. Meta-analysis of 137 studies show that more optimistic people likely to engage in positive health behaviors, including eating better, more whole foods, more plant-based, sorry about that, exercising on a daily basis, getting better sleep, not smoking, not necessarily drinking alcohol on a daily basis, an immune and neuroendocrine system impacted certainly by our positive thoughts, emotions, and feelings. You are what you think, and with your thoughts, you make the world, by Buddha. One is meant to forgive and be compassionate. Saying, I am sorry, please forgive me, telling people every day, thank you, telling people that you love them, just being aware, being present, sharing a smile with someone, even if it's a stranger, that could completely change their day and outlook for the better. And you had no idea, but you were the one person to share that with them. So I would really encourage you to, smile more, share a smile with someone. If you see somebody wearing something and you love the colors and it looks fabulous on them, even if it's a stranger, don't be afraid to give them that compliment. Um, it means the world to them and makes them feel so much better. And you know what? It ultimately makes you feel better too. Or another one is, when you're shopping or when you're in a public place and you're interacting with somebody, stop for a minute and ask them how their day is. I've had so many people say, gosh, thank you for taking the time to ask me how my day was. Um, Again, let's be more personal. Let's be more one-on-one. Let's be more intentional with our thoughts and our words, and sharing kindness, support, and encouragement with one another. Really makes a huge difference. Boy, taming the monkey mind. I have patients that say, I can get to sleep, not a problem. It's staying asleep. And then I have patients say, yeah, I really have a hard time getting to sleep because as soon as I get into bed, my mind just starts going and making lists of all the things that I need to do or all the things that I didn't get done. So taming the monkey mind. There actually is a 10-way step process to help tame the monkey mind. If you go to that daringtolivefully.com, tame your monkey mind, you can actually go through the 10 ways to help calm the mind, quiet the mind down so that you can get to sleep. Daily meditation. Patients will hear this from Dr. Woodward, Karen Preston, and myself about the importance of meditation on a daily basis. And meditation can also be prayer time, journal writing. There are hundreds and hundreds of meditation apps that you can download to your phone. Many of them are free. Some are certainly paid. If you have a tablet or a computer, there really are so many different ways that you can follow a meditation. Some of my favorites are recently the Calm app. Really has a lot of different offerings. If you're someone who enjoyed bedtime stories when you were young, the Calm app actually has recorded sleep stories by different people, which are kind of cool. I love listening to the different sceneries and also following daily meditations for different types of things to work on. Also, Simply Being has been one of my favorites for the last several years. I love using that app. And also, I think Karen's favorite is Ananda. So these are just 3 of hundreds of meditation apps for you to look up and consider trying. I recommend doing meditation at night when you get into bed and start quieting down, turning off the electronics, except for the one that you're using for the meditation app, turning off the lights and just starting to decompress, turn everything off in the to work towards getting to sleep. And then there's also an article on Truly how meditation changes the brain. This is your brain on meditation. So there's 2 images, one on the left and one on the right. The one on the left shows a baseline, and then the one on the right shows the brain during an actual meditation. And you can see just by the colors how engaged the brain is on meditation. And on the one on the left, you can see that there is more open space. So the lateral prefrontal cortex, that's our rational, logical, balanced, modulates fear responses up in the front. You can see on the right how much more engaged it is. The medial prefrontal cortex, that's our references, experiences, your perspective. The insula monitors bodily function and sensations. Those are your gut feelings. And the amygdala, that's the fear or the alarm center. So meditation has profound effects for our central nervous system. When I share meditation with patients, I say this is not something that I'm looking for you to perfect, or that, people will say, well, I'm not very good at it. It's not anything that I want you to try and master. I just want you to turn on the meditation. Let the meditation do what it's designed to do. And you're just laying there or sitting in a comfortable chair, relaxed, with your eyes closed, and having quiet time through the meditation. So Buddha was asked, what have you gained from meditation? And he replied, nothing. However, Buddha said, let me tell you what I have lost. I have lost anger. I have lost anxiety. I have lost depression. I have lost insecurity, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. I would say that is pretty profound, simply in practicing turning on meditation at night before you go to bed, so that your focal point is on quiet, peaceful, relaxed. And when you wake up in the morning before your feet hit the floor, turn on a quick 5 to 10 minute meditation. Again, so that your brain is focused on positive thoughts that will direct you and help you navigate through the day, no matter what may come at you. Here are some things that we can do to calm the mind and the body. You can even drink chamomile tea. One of my favorite brands is this Traditional Medicinals. They have so many different types of teas in their offerings, but chamomile, very, very calming, helping to relieve stress and anxiety. If you're feeling it during the day, then, have a cup of it. You can prepare it hot, obviously, but if it's a hotter day during the warmer months, then you can pour it into a glass, add some ice to it, and you're still getting the same great effects. It's just on a cooler note. Valerian root is also very well known for helping to reduce stress and anxiety, good for sleep. Sleep through the night with some essential lavender oil. If you have some, put a dab on the inside of your wrists and rub the bottoms of your feet with lavender. You can use a carrier oil like coconut, or if you don't like coconut, you can certainly use a different carrier oil. Possibly one like castor oil, or you could use almond oil, whatever you prefer. Also helps for restless legs. You only need a little bit because it really goes a long way, especially with the carrier oil. Here are 5 herbs to help for stress management. Again, stress is a normal part of everyday life. Again, we all have it. Sometimes if the stress levels are chronic, that they've just been high, day after day, month after month, year after year, the adrenals can become very taxed. Adrenal fatigue is something that we see a lot here in the clinic, and it is very important to be addressed so that we can help support and nourish the adrenals so that they can function properly. The adrenals promote a healthy way to respond to the stress. So ashwagandha, holy basil, rhodiola, kava, and then American skullcap. I love Gaia herbs. They do a great job. These are all stress management herbs that we can also use to help support our adrenals. Sleep is critical. I think that's something that actually many people don't give enough credit to, and are like, I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of thing. But we're finding more and more that a lack of sleep is really causing significant illness and disease states for many people. So Sleep. It's necessary to rest, unplug, discharge tensions, and be able to recharge. The best practices for a healthy nighttime routine, go to sleep by 10 o'clock. And this is something for our young children as well, high school, college age. Sleep is very critical to them as well. Many high schoolers, college students are up all night studying, and their body is not getting that time to recharge that like it needs to. So if you have children of that age, really talk to them about their sleep practices, their nighttime routine, and encourage them to also practice daily meditation, because there are a lot of demands on our young students today as well. So go to sleep by 10 o'clock. Your adrenals actually reset between the times of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Sleep in until 9 a.m. wherever possible. Sleep between 7 and 9 a.m. is particularly rejuvenating for those with adrenal issues like adrenal fatigue. Unplug from electronic devices and try to eliminate screen time after 8 o'clock. Try reading instead. Evening can be a great time to do a meditation, which can include prayer time, writing in a journal, again, to help release the day and clear the mind, body before falling asleep. Try the Calm app. That's just one of my new favorites that I'm working with, but there's hundreds more. Find one that you enjoy, because then you will use it every day, hopefully. Again, drinking a cup of chamomile tea or valerian root may also help you to be more relaxed, more calm, and able to get to sleep. And again, if the goal is to get to sleep easily and be able to stay asleep. These are some sleep aids that can be helpful, because many people will take prescriptions for sleeping, even taking Benadryl to knock themselves out. We would prefer that you didn't do that. There are other ways that we can help your body relax and get to sleep. Take 300 to 500 milligrams of magnesium at night. It's a natural muscle relaxer. You may take up to 20 milligrams of melatonin at night if that is something that you find works for you, but it's not quite doing the trick. Then you can take up to 20 milligrams. We have 2 new products here in the office that we are seeing very good results with. One of them is Alpha GABA PM by Neuroscience, Alpha Theta Ultra PM by Biotics, and we've had Serenity PM by Orthomolecular. We do offer samples to see which one may work best for you. If you've had sleep issues for a long time, months, years, then we know that, trying a sample is not necessarily going to change your sleep pattern that has been a pattern for a long time. And it will take time in, readjusting the body and supporting it so that it can get to sleep and stay asleep. These are also nutrients that can be helping. L-theanine is very calming. We offer that not only in our sleep aids, but in a product called Serotrex through Neuroscience. If you are feeling, emotionally charged, or you're going into a situation that is going to be emotionally charging, these Serotrex are fruity chewables that work very well, that have the L-theanine in it, just for a calming response. Again, there's ashwagandha, 5-HTP, which is the L5-hydroxytryptophan, valerian root, skullcap, lemon balm, passion flower, vitamin B6 can help to reduce stress, anxiety. And again, the idea and the goal is to move into a more relaxed, calm state. They are helpful in going to sleep and certainly staying asleep. So try the sleep protocol first before you get into the prescriptions or drinking the Benadryl in the evening time. An important thing to do is Check in with yourself. Are you meeting your basic needs? It's so important to your well-being. I recommend coming up with 3 things that you enjoy spending time doing that brings you personally joy. It's not about anybody else. It's not about being selfish, but truly what brings you joy. Incorporate these a minimum of 3 days a week for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. You will feel more rested and more relaxed if you are meeting your own basic needs. Exercise. This is really important. Whether you like it or not, it's important to do. Regular exercise improves metabolism and calorie nutrient use and reduces risk of cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and diabetes, while it improves oxygenation and psychological attitude. You know, we are engineering ourselves with all of these electronic devices and apps that we don't have to move much anymore, which is really becoming a problem. The obesity rate in this country is out of control. Diabetes, pre-diabetes is out of control, and we're seeing it in our children on a daily basis. We need to get up and move more. We need to be outside more. So turn off the electronic devices and get outside and start moving that body. Sleep, again, it's critical. It's necessary to rest, decharge tensions, and be able to recharge the body. Express your feeling. Venting helps. Unexpressed emotions are the building blocks of stress, pain, and illness. I'm not saying go out and be mean, but there are ways that we can express our feelings and hopefully be heard with what we may be experiencing, our frustrations, disappointments. So that's also important. Good relationships. You know, I think everybody wants to have good relationships. Sometimes people come into our lives that they don't end up being a good relationship in our life, but they're here to teach us something. That's kind of the way I look at it. Having support and encouragement, a good listener who will love you for who you are without judgment. I think we'd all like to have that in our lives. And I certainly encourage that. I think we all want to experience love. I would say this is universal. It may be with another human being, and if it's not with a human being, it may be with a pet, or can be the biggest stress reducer. Animals. I love animals, and we rescued Stella 2 years ago. She was a puppy that came up from Florida during Hurricane Irma, and she is just an absolute joy and a love. And you know, if you feel like you've had a stressful day, when you walk in the door and she's just wagging her tail and can't wait to be with you, that's a huge stress reducer. Perceptions and attitudes. I call it stinking thinking or holding on to grudges. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That was a little note from Buddha and a great reminder for us all. Modalities: acupuncture, massage, Reiki, reflexology, tapping. These are all wonderful modalities that if you have not tried them, I encourage you to try them. I am a huge fan of all of them. I enjoy getting and receiving acupuncture, massage, Reiki. I actually have my Reiki 1 master. Absolutely love that energy work. Love reflexology, and have even practiced some tapping in the last few years. So these are all modalities that you can try out and see if you enjoy any of them, because they definitely can have a positive impact on our overall health. If you need some recommendations for someone local to you, reach out to the office. You can certainly ask for me, Corrine, and I can give you some recommendations as well. Acupuncture. It's Chinese medicine that has been utilized for thousands of years to treat all types of illness, along with overall well-being. Acupuncture involves the insertion of very fine, sterile, disposable needles into different points along the body's energy channels. It works to return the flow of qi to a state of balance. Massage is a manual manipulation of soft body tissues, muscle, connective tissue, tendons, and ligaments to enhance a person's health and well-being. Reiki, a healing technique based on the principle that the therapist can channel energy into the patient by means of touch to activate the natural healing processes of the patient's body. and restore physical and emotional well-being. Reflexology, a system of massage used to relieve tension and treat illness based on the theory that there are reflex points on the feet, hands, and head linked to every part of the body. Tapping, EFT, is a form of psychological acupressure based on the same energy meridians used in traditional acupuncture to treat physical and emotional ailments for over 5,000 years, but without the invasiveness of needles. There are tapping apps that you can download that will guide you through tapping for different things that you want to work on. So we find that patients really enjoy using the application that they have on their phone. Stress and eating. Honor your feelings without using food. Find ways to comfort, nurture, distract, and resolve your issues without using food. Anxiety, loneliness, boredom, and anger are emotions we all experience throughout life. Food will not fix any of these feelings, may provide comfort in the short term, but again, won't solve the ultimate problem. Honor your health. Make food choices that honor your health and taste buds while making you feel well. Eat to nourish and support your body. Does it mean being perfect all the time? No, not at all. But the better food that we consume in the long run, we ultimately will feel better. Eating to nourish and support your body. Water. Counteract stress by circulating nutrients. Drink half your body weight in ounces daily. I always say start your day with 16 to 20 ounces before you do anything else. Lighter, cleansing diet. Eat lighter, simpler meals may raise your energy level and productivity during short-term stress. Nutrients are depleted by stress. Vitamins A, E, C, and the Bs, along with minerals zinc, selenium, calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium, sulfur, and molybdenum, serves mainly as an essential cofactor of these enzymes and aids in the metabolisms of fats and carbohydrates. Foods for nervous system health, really important here. More alkalizing foods like fresh sprouts, high quality protein. That is, if it's plant-based, you want to make sure that it's non-GMO. If we are talking about animal protein, you want to make sure that you are getting the best of humanely raised animals that are raised in their own natural environment. Whole grains, you want to limit the consumption of those. Green leafy vegetables, root vegetables, lemons, grapefruit, and seed and nuts. Calcium, this is known for building strong bones and teeth. It is also essential for healthy nerve function. Proper amounts of blood calcium prevents nervousness, irritability, muscle spasms, muscle cramping, hyperactivity, and insomnia. Sources like seaweed, yogurt, doesn't have to be dairy yogurt, it can be non-dairy yogurts. There's a lot of different options available to us now. Cultured milk products, use some caution with that. Again, go back to the dark green leafy vegetables such as spinach, Swiss chard, I love it, broccoli, turnip greens, kale, beet greens, and parsley, also in almonds and sesame seeds. So wired and connected, how are we connected and how are we wired? Really get out more into nature, eating more whole foods, connect with community, like-minded people so that your energies are the same. You know, get out to the ocean, dig your feet in the sand and, you know, feel that water come crashing on you in the waves. Try and avoid things like vending machines and certainly harmful toxic chemicals that can be out in the environment. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. Again, from Buddha. I love Buddha. I just want to encourage each and every one of you to think about your stress levels. Where are there some things that you can say no to lovingly for some really good self-care? It's really important. If you're not sleeping well, then let's address that issue because sleep is critical to our overall health. And if there's anything that we can do to help you reduce your stress levels, That's what we're here for. We're here to walk alongside your health journey with you. Wishing you abundant blessings and health each and every day. Thank you for joining me.